As the tides of economic fortune ebb and flow, the once thriving shores of New Zealand's job market find themselves awash in a tempestuous sea of uncertainty. The latest figures from Statistics New Zealand paint a sobering picture, one that echoes the tumultuous days of the global financial crisis over a decade ago. For the fourth consecutive month, the nation's employment figures have dwindled, an unwavering and foreboding descent not seen since the turbulent currents of early 2009. It is a narrative woven from the threads of resilience and perseverance, yet now fraying under the relentless forces of economic shift. The numbers speak a language of their own, a stark economic soliloquy that resonates far beyond the confines of boardrooms and financial districts. Filled jobs have dropped by a modest yet significant 0.1%, following a revised 0.3% decline in June. A ripple effect, perhaps, but one that has sent tremors through the very foundations upon which New Zealand's robust workforce once stood. Yet, this is no mere statistical aberration. It is a harbinger of broader currents at play. High interest rates, those financial leviathans that have long held sway over the ebb and flow of commerce, have cast their shadow over the nation's economic landscape. As companies tighten their belts and rein in hiring, the specter of recession looms ever nearer, a third such specter in less than 2 years' time. The Reserve Bank of New Zealand, that august institution entrusted with safeguarding the nation's financial well-being, has taken heed of these ominous tides. In a deft maneuver, the central bank has cut its benchmark interest rate, a preemptive strike against the gathering storm of slowing demand and curbed inflation. Yet, even as these measures are implemented, the labor market finds itself in a state of flux. Mark Smith, a seasoned navigator of Auckland's economic waters, warns that the risks are tilting toward a third-quarter contraction in hiring and a rise in the unemployment rate toward 5%. The data itself speaks volumes, a chorus of numbers that echo the narratives of lives and livelihoods. Since its peak in March, when filled jobs soared to nearly 2.4 million, a staggering 25,000 positions have evaporated into the ether, a 1.1% decline that reverberates through the very fabric of the nation's workforce. As the economic tides continue to churn, the prognostications of both local economists and the RBNZ portend further contractions in the latter half of 2024. The jobless rate, a barometer of the nation's economic health, is expected to swell to 5.4% by early 2025, a toll exacted by the unforgiving currents of global finance. Yet, amid these turbulent waters, there remains a glimmer of hope, a beacon that may guide New Zealand's workforce through the tempest. Smith, ever the pragmatist, reminds us that the balance of power is expected to progressively move in favor of employers, as the waning demand for labor and pressures on profitability conspire to reshape the very landscape of employment. It is a reckoning, a moment of truth for a nation that has weathered countless storms, its resilience forged in the crucible of adversity. As the tides of fortune ebb and flow, New Zealand's job market stands poised to navigate these uncharted waters, to chart a course through the tempest and emerge, perhaps, into calmer seas. For in the grand tapestry of economic cycles, the ebb is oft followed by the flow, and the currents that once threatened to overwhelm may yet become the very tailwinds that propel the nation's workforce toward new horizons.